Hey folks,
Hello.
I'm Chris Hamrick here, and we've got a new program. John Boyd and myself. John got tied up with some customers and couldn't make it, but we're very proud and honored to have our mayor, Mr. Bob Page, and doing our first interview for us, and we know it will be a good one.
Thank you, Chris, for
'Cause
inviting me to be on the program today.
Yes, this is our first one, and we're gonna have some more. They'll all be on YouTube.
Yeah, this is good.
All you gotta do is get your phone out, or or whatever. I think most people do it on their phone or your computer, either one. But like I said, Bobby Page has been an important asset to the community of Hamilton over many years, and well, I mean, in the work you've done, and you were in the banking business, Bobby. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Growing up and where you're from and all that.
Okay.
Your childhood.
I grew up near Bethlehem Church, just off of 19 Highway, on what's now known as Gas Plant Road. My dad was a World War II veteran. And when he got back from the war, my mother and him settled there on that road, and recently my sister and myself sold the old property we grew up in, and my mother was Carrie Mae Brown. She moved to Marion County from Etowah County, Mississippi,
Not far.
and my dad was raised partly in the Iuka Tishomingo area, and moved to Marion County when he was a boy, and have been here since. And of course, I started the school in 1950, 51, let me get it right, at Sunnyside, which was a 3-room school.
Now, where was that at, Bob?
That's near the Polka Dot store.
Okay, everybody knows Polka Dot.
Yes. And off 19 there was a little 3-room school, and then I moved to Gravel Springs in 2nd grade and stayed there through all of my junior high years, and then came to Hamilton and graduated from Hamilton. While I was a senior, I was hired to work at Marion County Bank on a part-time basis, and when I graduated from Hamilton, Mr. Payne said, "Well, are you going on to college right now, or do you want to work a while?" And I said, "Well, just let me work for right now." And so along the way, I did some education classes at our campus that we now call Bevel, which was the trade school at that time primarily, but they had English and things like that.
Yes.
That kind of rounds you out. And later on, I was able to attend banking school at the University of South Alabama, and I completed that, of course. And a lot of my training, Chris, has been on the job.
It's the best kind to get.
I actually enjoyed my banking career, which spanned 52 and a half years, serving this community as a community banker. And primarily my role was lending, and I made loans for almost everything you can imagine, and most of them to consumers where they needed something for their household, or to build a new home, or start up a little business, or whatever. Sometimes I just loaned money for people to go on vacation.
Yes.
For goodness sakes.
Yes.
If they were going to pay it back,
Right.
I really didn't care. I didn't want to lend it to them to go to Tunica, but otherwise I would lend it for any good cause.
Right, and most of the time you probably got it repaid.
We got the repayment. All but 0.25% in my whole banking career paid me back all my loans. I lost 1/4 of 1% of all the loans I ever made.
That's
So
a very good record.
I'm not fussing about that. You're gonna have a few circumstances come up where people just can't perform, and who knows?
Exactly.
But my background primarily was in banking, so I'd loaned money for a long time, and I just kind of didn't want to continue in the banking business, but I wasn't ready to go home and sit down, so I asked the people of Hamilton to let me serve them as the mayor of Hamilton, and not only have they given me the job once, but I've been blessed to be serving in my second term now.
Yes, sir. Well, people know what kind of person you are and what kind of background you've got doing things in Hamilton here, and you just these good old folks around here just like good old folks like you.
Well, my interest is in seeing Hamilton
Yeah.
grow,
Yes.
and for us to have better things to offer our people in retail and jobs. When I ran for mayor, I told them that I would be seeking industry. Well, industry is not that easy to find, I've come to realize, but we do have one industry that moved here since I've been here, and that's Hamilton Home Builders, and they build houses, of course, for the market every day, and they've served a good niche. They have a house that's right in the median of people can afford them.
They're paying their employees a lot better too, buddy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
that's
$18, $19 an hour.
that's a really good thing. And we've been blessed with that. We've got some people looking at us right now in our industrial park, and we're hoping that this works out, but I just can't make an announcement till it's official. And,
Yes.
but we've grown a good deal. We've had several businesses move here since I've been mayor, and there's other people looking at us today.
Yes.
We've heard of one today that's looking at us maybe to bring us a new hotel, and
Oh, that'd be nice.
so we're hoping we can make that announcement
Yes.
real soon. And it just things that are happening is really exciting, and I want life to be better in Hamilton for every citizen that lives here, and I want people to be able to live here and make a living, raise their families here, be safe. We were recently voted the 4th safest city in Alabama, and we
Yes.
proudly wear that badge because safety now is so important to people. There's so much crime and so much killing in our nation
Yes.
now, and we don't want that to be going
Yes.
on in Hamilton. We want law and order
Right.
and safety for all of our people.
Right. Now let me ask you something, Bobby. Tell us some of the jobs your first jobs you've ever had. I mean,
Well,
was it in the banking business or?
The first job I ever had, during the summer, my dad would measure cotton ground and cover crops for the ESC office, and he would take me over to his country store. I was about 12 years old when he turned me loose with the store, and he said, "You run the store during the
Oh,
daytime,
my
and
goodness.
when the work hands come in the afternoon, I'll make it back in time to help you out with the store." So we sold gasoline and tobacco products and a few groceries and things like that, staple items, and a little bit of feed.
Bologna. Stick bologna.
Yeah, stick bologna. It was really important to have stick bologna in your cooler at that
Oh
time.
boy, you had to.
And you had a butcher knife to cut it off with. You want a pound or a half pound, and we'd weigh it, and we'd get it pretty close.
That was the good old days.
Yeah, those were good days, and we had some good cheese too. That
Oh.
hoop cheese was good. There's no question. People would come in and cut me off a slice of that cheese, and it was already mellowed and good. I promise.
I was raised in Hackleburg, and Max Isom ran the Fowler's grocery store there, and they would do the same thing.
Oh,
They'd
yeah.
cut you a big piece of cheese, big piece of bologna.
Oh my, it was wonderful. Yeah, that's some good eating. Well, that's the first job I ever had, serving the public. And then, of course, I started in the bank at a young age. I was 17 years old. I didn't register for the draft. I graduated from Hamilton High School at age 17. When I started the school, I was 5 years old, and they would let you go to, if you could learn, they were needing students at Sunnyside, so they would let you go at 5 years old, and about 6 of us in the community up there started at age 5, and
Oh,
actually finished school a year earlier than we
Yes.
should have. The kids who were 1 year behind us were actually our same age.
Right, right.
So-
Well, that went on quite a bit, probably, you know, these
Yeah.
smaller country schools and
Yeah.
stuff. Man.
And so I didn't register for the draft till October of that year after I graduated from high school, and I was actually 1A to top of the draft list. All my friends that I'd finished school with were either going to Germany or Vietnam.
Vietnam, yes.
It was raging at that time, and so I called the draft board. I said, I don't know if it matters or not, but I'm married now, and we just had a baby. She said, well, I was going to contact you next week to come take your physical, but that's going to change your status. You'll stay at the top of the list, but they're not drafting young men with family.
Yes.
So I was never drafted to go to the military. Very conscientious about my country and my flag. I love the flag, and I could count myself patriotic, but I never served in the military, and I would have had they called me
Yes,
up.
yes, yes.
That just never did happen. So, but we saw a lot of tragedy in that war,
Yes.
Vietnam War, and a lot of young men came home scarred for life. And
They were, Bobby. My first cousin up in Indiana,
Yeah.
Mishawaka, Indiana. He came. He was a different person. He got back to Vietnam. We lived up there.
yeah, they lived in terrible fear of the Viet Cong, and there was a lot
And
going
that
on.
Agent Orange stuff,
No,
those
the Agent
chemicals
Orange
in the
was-
airs. Yeah.
It was sprayed on them on a regular basis, and some of them came home and later developed serious diseases from that. And of course, our class president was Ronnie Avery, and he went over there, stepped on a landmine or something, and blew himself up, and
Gosh.
came home sadly deceased. And it was a very sad time for all of us in his class, and we were saddened by the war. But we got lots of memories to look back on, Chris.
Yes.
The things that are happening, I guess, at the mayor's office right now. Since I've been mayor, we've bought lots of things for the city. 2 new garbage trucks, a whole fleet of cruisers for our police. We got rid of all those Dodge Chargers that were
Gas
those
guzzlers.
heavy engines.
Yeah.
You could hear them winding through town for miles
Yeah.
on end. Anyway,
Let me ask you something, Bobby.
yeah.
Our recreation center is good. Our recreation department.
Yeah.
Tim Kurt's a good friend of mine. Those ball fields are like, you know, just wonderful. You know,
Yeah.
and
They work hard at those. We bought new lighting for the fields, and
I've had people ask me about the swimming pool. Were we ever going to have another
Okay.
a swimming pool here?
well, that's a good question. We've looked at a swimming pool, the possibilities. There's some merits to having a swimming pool. Right now, we only have a play area for water enjoyment. The splash pad's more for kids.
It is, and it's good to
12
have. The
about
kids
12
really
years
enjoy
old.
it, the younger kids.
I can't say for sure that we'd ever have a swimming pool. The merits of having one, you've almost got to do more than a swimming pool. If you get one, you've just about got to do a water park.
Yes.
If you attract enough folks to keep a full-time lifeguard and pay them and all this stuff.
And Gewin's 15 minutes away from us. They have a great
Yeah.
facility down there,
Yeah.
which we go to during the
Yeah,
summer.
a lot of people go to Vet and Gewin.
Yes.
Both of them have got parks. They cost lots of money, and then there's lots of upkeep. I'm not sure we'll build a swimming pool. We are trying to improve our property over here. Yesterday, we were to open bids on our new track that we're about to build. And that'll be for all of our county kids to run on. The only track in Marion County now is at the city school system in Winfield. None of our county kids have a track to practice on or to run their field and track events on. And so we're building a facility right over here. But it won't be just for kids to play on. People can come there and exercise every day. We open every day for our own people.
Can you tell us something about the Buddy Hatchie deal over where the old Munsingware plant used to be, Bobby? Is that
Yeah.
going to be developed into like a
Yeah.
nature area over there?
Yeah, we're gonna have some walking trails. We'll have a cross-country track also. We're gonna have a canoe launch there. We
Oh,
already
that's
have
great.
it there, but we found a place to take the people out, down, this side of Fulton Bridge. There's a place we're gonna develop. Actually, I've asked.
That's going to be great.
And we'll have rafting and canoeing through the summer for people to come here and enjoy. The Buddy Hatchie is a beautiful nature stream, and we're blessed to have it.
I live on the Buddy Hatchie, and during the summer it's constant. They're just coming out constantly. And to do what you're going to do, you know, those things, you know,
We plan to do kayaking and canoeing. We're hoping not to allow the mud riding and things like that in our stream. We don't want that. We actually get our drinking water out of that stream, and we want the stream to stay as clean as it possibly can.
Yes.
Some of these kids want to get on their four-wheelers and ride the stream beds.
Yes.
But we don't plan for that to happen.
Right. Well, Bobby, you know, we've had you told us some real good things. Now, let me give you a good question. A good question.
Okay.
What's the hardest part about being the mayor of Hamilton?
Well, actually enforcing ordinances is a tough job because so many people think of their pet as an extension of their family, and they don't want to confine him too much. They want to give him some freedom to roam. But you know, we have leash laws, things like that, and some folks want me to be hard on that and enforce it. And as much as I want to enforce that rule, it's very hard to come down on the people and say, you're going to pay a fine if I see that dog running loose one more time. And most people take good care of their pets and treat them with great dignity. But there's some breeds of dogs that people are naturally scared of, and they have a right to be, because some dogs, if you get on their turf, they'll bite you. Things like this. So dog laws is one of the problems I have, and keeping potholes fixed is quick. You can quickly get pointed out that your roads aren't in good or great condition. We're trying our best to do better. We did buy a brand new patching machine that's made for doing potholes.
Yes, that's good.
Unfortunately, we can't pave every street in town. We've got 284 miles of inner city streets in Hamilton. So that's almost the distance of here to Mobile. So just in city streets, we've got that many miles to keep up.
You, an average person, would not think that. You know, when you're working on this.
Yeah. We're 30 square miles of city. Our city, coast to coast, our city is 30 square miles.
I didn't know that.
That's a lot of space.
It is.
And we
Got your hands full.
provide a lot of service, and it costs lots of money. Thankfully, our revenue stream has been good. People are shopping in Hamilton more than ever, Chris, and buying things here that they used to go elsewhere and buy, and we're so proud of that. I've got to thank my citizens for shopping at home, because it's helping us to do more things for our community.
Yes,
those dollars that come from taxation really count up and help us to do our services. So I must say thank you. Even though there's some hard issues in being the mayor, I still love the job and the challenge every day. I'm one who dares to come to the office every day and face whatever music comes, and I don't hide out. I'm willing to face anyone that has a problem and try to help them work it out, because
let me ask you something. Have you ever thrown anybody out of your office? In manufacturing, I worked in manufacturing for like 21 years. that happened a few times.
Well, I've never have done that, but I've been proud to see a few folks walk away because they came with a fixed opinion, and when someone comes with a fixed opinion, they can tell you pretty quickly what they think of the issue, and you may not see everything eye to eye with someone, but you
You gotta have a lot of patience.
try to work through it. Patience is a virtue when it comes to doing this job, because I don't know what I'd do without my patience, because sometimes the person asking for the favor or whatever could actually do it themselves if they would just take it and run with it. But basically, yeah, patience is good.
There you go. Bobby, I know you're busy, and we really enjoyed this interview, and we're gonna maybe later on, have another one about some other issues, but we appreciate you taking your time off your busy schedule, and I see all the things you've got to do over there on your calendar.
I keep my calendar pretty full.
Yeah.
We're going to Washington next week, and we're going to do our Northwest Alabama pilgrimage, and we'll see the elected officials there and actually have dinner with them and tell them what our community needs are, and see if they can help us, because sometimes if you can tap a few of those federal dollars, you can do some things that you can't do with your local revenues.
If we could just get Richard Shelby to come with y'all.
Yeah.
He has done so much for our state.
That's amazing. There's no question.
But I know y'all will do good.
I noticed the fourth item here we were going to talk about is the re-election.
Yes.
It's 3 years away. Governor Ivey extended our tenure this time 1 extra year. Instead of serving 4 and 4, we're serving 4 years and then 5 years on this term. So we got about 3 years. We'll be looking at a new mayor in 25, and I'm 76 years old, and I don't want to get in the way of progress. I want to be a part of progress.
Yes.
If my health stays good, I could run again, but I haven't made that decision. Now I feel good every day. I still love doing this, and I haven't really decided about the future, but my mental health and my physical health are important to me.
Yes. Everybody.
I don't want to be in a situation where someone's doubting my effectiveness and saying he can't do the job, or he's not the man he used to be. And I realize that there are limits to a man's abilities, but to say that I don't enjoy it, I can't say that, because I love it, and I've never thought about myself as being a politician. I always thought of myself as being a servant.
Public servant, yes.
And that's kind of the way I've summed it up through the years.
That's how most people think about you.
Yeah, I want to be a servant. I don't seek any power. I don't have an agenda for me. I only want good things for my community, because I have lived here my entire life. I've never moved away from Hamrick one time. Well, I did live with Kathy after I married her down in Twin for about 8 months till we could get our house fixed up to move into here. But really, I've always identified with Hamilton.
You sure have.
I wanted to say a word or two about, we're filming here in the City Hall. I think our City Hall is one of the most outstanding buildings, Chris, in the whole region. And it's old, but it still has quality and beauty that is just unmatched almost.
Yeah,
it's a masterpiece for sure. These floors that we're looking at are cherry floors. We don't get that anymore. And we've saved these 3 rooms of cherry wood, and that's original.
Gosh. Mr. Fight, Rankin Fight, they lived here.
Mr. Fight raised his family here. After Ernest Baxter, his dad, built the house, he was raised here, and then he in turn lived here a while when he had Buddy, and then they moved, built new houses and moved. And Caroline moved her family in here and raised Carrie and Bill here, and So this house has lots of history, but we just want to consider it as dear to us as our city hall now.
Preserve.
It's been a bank building, but now it functions as Hamilton City Hall, and I just love to come to work here
Yes.
because it has such natural beauty. It sits up here on this little hill, and it's just a showpiece
Oh, it is.
for us, and so
It
we're
is.
very, very proud of it. And we've had a few accomplishments, Chris, but we're not near where we want to be.
Well, you've got plenty done, so it just takes time to do these things. They just don't. They
Well,
don't get
it
done
does
overnight.
take time, and I thought I could come in here and just get it done
Yeah,
overnight, but I've
Just takes
had to
time.
make
To get
lots
it done
of,
right, it takes time.
I have to go and find money to do some of these projects. Currently, we have a nice balance in the bank as far as our funds, but we're gonna spend a lot of it, improving our Munsingware property and developing it so that people can enjoy it.
Yes. Oh, that's gonna.
It's 47 acres of beautiful land over there by the river,
Yes.
and we're gonna make it be what it should
Yeah,
be.
people are really gonna enjoy that.
Yeah, I think they will, and I hope people are inspired like I am to see our community come together and gather over there for special events and
Yes.
to have a good time. We want an amphitheater for this town too, to have concerts and other gatherings, and so that's part of the plan over there. Phase 2 will include an amphitheater
Yes,
as
that's
well as
wonderful.
our beautiful track we'll have over there for our kids and our adults to enjoy.
Yes. Get really, really good. Bobby, Mayor,
It's been my
we
pleasure.
appreciate
Chris.
it. Yeah, you covered a lot of stuff. I could sit here for another hour.
You know, we
But,
really.
I know you're busy.
I hope,
You gotta
I hope as the program goes on, you'll invite me back.
I will.
And I'll be more specific on
Yeah.
some things.
Yes.
And I'll give you a whole list of the things we've
Yes.
accomplished and a list of the businesses. But I just ask the citizens to look around
Yes.
you and say, what's here that wasn't here 6 years ago?
Yes.
And there's a lot of things that have shown up, and we're not near finished.
Yes.
We're just getting going.
I think most of the people around here are pretty well satisfied on where
Well,
everything's going.
we're gonna
They wanna
have
build,
more
you know.
and better things
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
There's some things on the
Yeah.
drawing board right now. I've got a great council to serve
Yeah,
with.
yeah, you do.
They're very, very interested in this community
Yes.
as I am, and
Yeah.